Hello and welcome to Edmond Spotlight. I'm Anita Berry, and with me today is Derek Turner, who is the owner of Turner & Company. Derek, your company, Turner & Company, seems to be involved in a lot of the premier developments going on in Edmond right now. Can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Our company was started in 1970. My parents started the company then. About 10, 15 years ago, we bought them out, and we've been running it ever since. We specialize in development of real estate. We start with large tracts of land, we work through the residential side, and then ultimately we get to the commercial side. So it's kind of an evolution of the business, and that's how we've ended up getting into the commercial side of the business.
Okay, well great. Can you tell us some of the projects or developments that you're most excited about right now?
Our commercial projects are kind of divided between North and South Edmond. Our North Edmond projects are centered around the intersection of Covell and Kelly, where we have Coffee Creek and the amenities that are all there at Coffee Creek, all of our commercial space there. Most of that is medical and some retail, professional retail oriented, and then on the opposite corner of that is the Market Square project, which we've put Lowe's in there, and Walgreens is there, Three Girls Photography Studios there, and we have a bank, Prime Bank, just opened up. So we have quite a few different projects that are starting there. In South and East Edmond, we have quite a few projects. We did Turtle Creek Professional Village years ago, and Stonebridge is one of ours. And then the larger one we're doing is Fisher Hall there right now off of Boulevard. And then we're starting to do some projects out on I-35. We have a project at Covell and I-35 that we're working with some partners on that's going real well too.
Okay. And besides different businesses, I've noticed that there are also different styles to these developments. Some of them are more traditional looking office spaces, and some of them look like you're walking into a beautiful home.
That's right.
Can you tell us about that?
It's kind of an interesting trend. There's Edmond is really, when it's divided north and south, the majority of the property that is north side, that's generally people that are Edmond residents. They're living and working very close to their home. The projects that are on the south side, Fisher Hall, is a little more diverse in terms of the product and who's there, and they draw more from Oklahoma City. The trend has always been kind of a house-oriented project, but as the tenants have increased in size, those buildings are limited on how large they can be. And so we've started moving from those smaller 5 to 10,000 foot buildings into buildings that are 20 to 30 to 60,000 square feet. And so you get into a little different type of construction when you get to that point.
Okay, besides being beautiful, Fisher Hall also looks rather large, is it?
It is. The Fisher Hall development that we started there was actually, it was the Fisher family that we worked with to put it together. One of the families actually still one of our partners. The project actually was larger to start with, but a large chunk of that property was sold off to the city. 40 some odd acres was sold to the city, and there's a beautiful lake in there, and the city now has a great park there. And then we ended up buying the other 14 acres, and then we backed our project into that lake because people love to look at water. So we started with that project. There's 14 acres at Fisher Hall. It's on Boulevard between 33rd and Memorial, so it's very close access to Oklahoma City. We have a lot of people that have come there to office that do business all over the state, and so it's not unusual to have someone say, how long is it going to take me to get to Tulsa? How long does it take to get to Oklahoma City? How long does it take to get to Wichita, Kansas? So from there, we're a really good proximity to all those different sources because of the highway system that's there on the turnpike. But Fisher Hall, right now we have 11 buildings there now. There'll be 11 total. Right now we have 7. And they range in size from about 5,000 square feet to 60,000 square feet.
Wow, so it is a really large complex there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what kind of tenants, what kind of businesses occupy that space?
It varies. When we get done, there'll be about 165,000 square feet of space. Right now, we have about 120,000 of that space. But we have tenants in there that range from maybe as little as 1,000 square feet up to 10 to 12,000 square feet. A lot of the tenants that we have there actually came out of Oklahoma City. We had a large number of people that said, I want to have my office in Edmond but they were part of larger companies. Those are more regional, national credit type tenants, and they wanted to be in this area, but there wasn't office space available for them. One thing we found was that when you send a picture of those nice, beautiful home offices off to their parent office in New York City, they kind of look at you and say, that's not an office building. So we've gone to some larger buildings that accommodate the more national credit tenants. It's been a great deal for Edmond because that area right now, we've got well over 200 people working there. When we're done, it'll probably be close to 300. And more than half of those jobs came out of either another city moving here or an expansion that came from Oklahoma City. So they were great to get the jobs to be here in Edmond. But Edmond is really becoming known as a great place to do business.
With all these developments going on, where do you see the commercial market heading right now?
Well, that's a great question. The great part about it is we've got a great planning staff in the city, and they've done some really good work kind of laying out how the city needed to be. Several years ago, they did a very extensive traffic study and came back and said that, we have our highways and we have our local streets. What's in between that? And what's in between that is parkway system. So the city came in and said, we're going to create a parkway system that runs through the community and interconnects the different highway systems and the local streets, and how does that work? So the two primary areas they focused on is Kelly Avenue from coming north off the Broadway extension, which will run all the way to the county line where Oak Tree is, and then the dissecting part of that will be Covell Road, which runs from the interstate, I-35, and eventually will run all the way over to Highway 74. So those will be low-speed, limited access, controlled turning point boulevards with 30-foot medians and landscaped, and there'll be we've already started putting those in, and it'll be a really, really great thing when it gets done. So, and the city's done a great job of getting that plan and doing that. So I think that you're going to see the development hit those corridors. It's going to be along Kelly, along Covell, along I-35. I think that's where you're really going to see that development in the future.
Okay, and so you're putting in these developments in sort of these hot spots. If someone comes to you and says, I want you to build one just specifically for my business, you do that as well, right?
We do. We actually do. We started several years ago. A lot of people that do what we do, they develop and they build a project, and then as soon as they get it done and lease, they immediately sell it. We kind of have a different strategy. Our exit strategy is not to exit. We plan to own it, and we really like the long-term ownership. I tend to like to have things I can put my hands on. I don't do very well with other things. So if I know where it is in real estate, it doesn't go anywhere. But we do have people that will come to us and say, please, here's what we need. We have an unusual circumstance. Here's what we need to build. And we've done that. We've actually built several corporate headquarters. We've done some in Oklahoma City. I think our largest one to date was 60,000 square feet for Reserve National Insurance, but we're getting ready to do one that'll be about 70,000 square feet for DLO, for a laboratory company here in Oklahoma. So those are becoming very popular, but we've also done them down as far, the last one we finished was the Three Girls Photography Studio that's up in North Edmond in the Market Square project, and that was about a 3,500 square foot building. So there's all different needs, and we just kind of adapt to those needs and build for them.
I've actually been in there. It's a beautiful studio.
They do great work.
Yeah, it's a great place. You all did great work with it too. Okay, well, it really sounds like you have something literally for every business, whether it's size or style or North or South Edmond, you kind of have it all. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you for their business, where's the best place for them to reach you?
Best place is to go to the internet, because all of our projects are on the internet. We're at turnerandcompany.com, and all of our projects are there, both residential and commercial, and links to different projects that we're on are there. And if not, they can call us at 405-348-8000, and there'll be somebody there that can help them out.
Okay, great. Derek, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And if you'd like more information on commercial development through Turner & Company, you can reach them at turnerandcompany.com or visit us at edmondspotlight.com. Thank you for joining us.